Hello and welcome to the Real Life Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jonathan. This is a platform where we get to engage, interact and learn from icons, gurus, moguls, trendsetters, trailblazers, difference makers and world changers. You know what I'm talking about. And sitting next to me is a legendary personality. The face is familiar, somebody that everybody knows. Ladies and gentlemen, he's an educationist. Is that the right term? He's an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, he's a businessman. I'm simply talking about Dr. Rozious Siatwambo. Doctor, welcome to the show.
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Great.
How are you doing yourself?
I'm fine. Just excited about this place, beautiful place. We're by Tualumba, by the way. You guys need to visit this place. It's massive and it's beautiful, it's incredible. But Doc, briefly, your background, where you come from and your educational background, just briefly. Where did you grow up from?
Partially, I grew up in the villages of, Sichivule before Choma in Batoka area. That's where I was raised up to the time when I was in my sixth grade. I was taken to go and be with my grandmother and my grandfather when I was 3, up to the time when I was in my 6th grade. That's when I crossed over, got into the city, and with excitement to say I'm going into the city from the village. And then from there, I joined the rest of the family. And in Lusaka, we were in Chawama, and I was at Chimwemwe Primary School. Then from Chimwemwe Primary School, first attempt grade 7, I never succeeded. I had to repeat, and then after repeating, I went to Arakan. So in my secondary years, I was at Arakan from my grade 8th year to up to the 12th year. I was at Arakan Secondary School, and then I was accepted at the University of Zambia, and after the University of Zambia, into business.
What did you study?
BA with education. I'm a teacher by profession. I majored in geography, and my minor was history. Okay.
Now, Doc, taking you back to the old days, there can never be a conversation with Dr. Rozious without exams made easy. What inspired that book?
They say experience is the best teacher. And when you're talking about experience, they say failure is the best teacher. So we learn more through failure than success. It's only to some people who don't take lessons from failure. So I don't do well at grade 7. And I repeat, and after I repeated, though painful, because you have to go back into the same grade, and then you are seeing your friends, progressing to another grade. And in those days, it was more painful, because those that were progressing to grade 8, you could see them changing their uniforms. Meanwhile, you have remained in that safari kind of, And then they are in, these trousers and all this and so on. And it was after I repeated, then I made it to grade 8, and then afterwards, when I excelled up to the University of Zambia, that's when I looked back. I said, "Oh, there were setbacks on my way. What lessons should I pick?" And then I started questioning myself to say, "Oh, grade 7, what happened?" Then if I managed, I passed. Then these exams are easy. So why did I fail at grade 7? Then if I excelled up the University of Zambia, then these exams are easy. So that's where the motivation came from.
Great. Now, that book, I didn't have the opportunity and the privilege to read it because the time it was published, I just used to watch you on Smooth Talk. By then I was in Western Province, in the village as well, in Kalabo. So I didn't have the opportunity to read the book or to buy the book. I just used to watch you on TV, right? Now, the information that was in that book was based on your experience.
That's
all.
It was based on my experience, and then trying to help people, pick some lessons from my experience. And I came to learn and discover that what I went through was what most people have been going through and go through. And I felt it wise to bring it out to the people so that probably somebody who was gotten discouraged because they never did well at some grade should get encouraged to say, if he made it, then I can also do it. And that's why I'm encouraging everyone to say, let's bring out those stories, all right? Let's bring out some of these stories just to encourage somebody out there. And that's how the book was published, and I'm happy. So much of what was written was based on my experience.
Now, Doc, looking at your background, family background, you don't look like you come from a rich family, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Are you coming from a rich family?
No. I come from a humble background.
How did Great North Academy start? Where did you get the capital from?
It started just like any other business, if I can mention. Anyway, it started just like any other business. But of course, for me, when you're talking about a business, the starting point is not the most important thing. The most important thing is the story behind the starting.
Yeah.
And that is the experience. By the time Great North Academy was starting, I had already garnered much experience, a lot of experience, because I have grown up in business. So people just to see the establishments now, to Alumba, you have all this, and some people normally think, oh, from nowhere. From nowhere. No, I haven't come from nowhere. I've been working for more than 38 years.
Wow. And
my business experience, if you subtract, I think I started businesses when I was in grade 1992, somewhere there, if I'm not mistaken. So you're talking about a very good 30 years I'm in business. 30 years, and you think I can't do all this? Yeah.
What was your first business?
So the first business was a garden. I had a little garden in the backyard when I was in my 9th grade. And from the little garden, no, there were a lot of businesses before that, but the one that I can vividly say, that's the starting point of these companies, was a garden. But before then, I had businesses. We used to run businesses in the villages, but those were hit and runs. When you had masuku, you could go and sell masuku. When there was boa, rain season, so those were hit and runs. But now I have this so-called established businesses, a garden in the backyard, and from the garden, neighbors are coming to buy vegetables, and then from the vegetables, now I managed to raise a bit of some money. Then I buy some cooking oil in 5 liters. I put them in those small bottles.
One kwacha, 2 kwachas. Yes.
Then I have sugar. Then I tie those to my sugar. Yes. You buy kaunga ka 25 kg mwamanga to my Pamela, and then you are selling outside. And that's how the business now started advancing. And if you look at that time, from that time up to the time Great North Academy was established, I did quite a number of businesses, uncountable.
Have you worked before in government as a teacher?
No, I've never worked. I've never dreamt of working. It has never crossed my mind. And the time I graduated, I was told, there's some space for you at Tarakan. I needed to go and work at Tarakan. I declined. In our time, I think jobs were not all that scarcity. The moment you're done with your school, they will tell you to say there's some space.
So you don't have any experience of a teacher?
An experience of a teacher? No, from Great North Academy I've been teaching. From the time it was established, I was a teacher. So I was teaching geography and history, and I've been teaching, but now I have moved out of teaching to more into mentorship. Mentorship, because these learners that are coming, they look up to me, so I must mentor them. So I have no time to teach geography, but geography is still within me, so I can teach you geography and make you get a distinction.
Awesome. How did you manage to evolve and remain relevant in the education system? Because I've seen Great North Academy is one of the schools that have been making waves for a long time now, and you don't seem to backslide, you don't seem to go down, you keep on going higher. Even amidst COVID, you're still standing. What is the secret to that revolution?
It has to do with my background. I think with me, I have given myself enough time in life to work on me than working on the business. I've come to learn why most businesses in Zambia, they go up and also go down, because owners don't spend much time to work on themselves, because you are in the driving seat. Are you emotionally, strong? Are you socially strong, right? Are you, mentally strong? Are you spiritually strong? All these things. So you must give yourself enough time to work on you, because everything about your failure and success actually begins with you. And if you look at my background, you find that my training, what I've been through, I'm a cowboy on the streets of Lusaka. I get into Salaula business. I get into tailoring. I was once an electrician. I've done some bricklaying. I've sold bedspreads. I've sold quite a lot of things. So with what I've gone through, my emotions were stretched. My level of perseverance, was stretched. My level of persistence, all these elements, my level of faith, all these things were stretched and so on. Such that now, the business has now become part of me. I cannot do without business.
Wow.
It's in my blood. 30
like
years
that.
you're in business.
I like that.
And you think I can stop, I cannot stop. And even today, I know this resort has been established, but somebody who's in business will tell, say, the moment I'm done with this, I just say,
then I'll rest.
I think I'll
like
rest. But before then, I just
say,
let me go and do something else, because we feel, you know, that's we normally have this sense of achievement.
You want
For me,
to
it's no
get
longer.
more. Yeah.
It's not. I think it's something that is in every business person. That's one that once you establish anything, it's not greediness or anything. But once you establish something, then you're done. Then you want to do something else because you are used to that. Because we get this self-fulfillment, you know, through such establishment. Life is all about self-fulfillment anyway. So once I'm done with this, and I can say I'm happy. This is what I've been looking forward to seeing. Something that you can put and everyone can say, wow, is this a Zambian who has done this? You know, so you find that afterwards my brain will just say, can you create something?
Interacting with great and powerful minds right here. This man is mind-blowing. I'm getting inspired right now. Now, you talk about how education is slowly changing. Some courses will be irrelevant. Some jobs will be irrelevant. For example, I have a banking background, right?
Yeah.
Now we have.
And now it's getting onto the palm.
Yes, it's getting onto the palm. Now we don't need a lot of tellers on the till because the ATM,
everyone is a teller.
ADT is able to to get cash. What are some of the courses that you think people should focus on to remain relevant career-wise?
Career-wise, I normally encourage everyone to search from within themselves, because there's no such a greater career as, you know, allowing yourself, what is inside you, to come out and bless the world.
Oh, wow.
So we are no longer in that era where you search for from outside. For you to succeed,
you have to search from
within. And when I'm talking about searching from within, you're talking about your gifts, your talents. They must come out. The people that are going to make it in the years to come are those that are going to use their talents and also their gifts. So we are no longer in that era where I can advise you to say go into banking. Search from within yourself. And searching from within yourself, I know people can ask you, say, how do you search from within yourself? By trying, you know, you try this, you try this, and that's why I normally advise to say those of us that are in the 20s, if you're in the 20s, that's the time to find your identity. How you find your identity is by trying out quite a number of things. Make mistakes in your 20s, try out quite a number of things. That's what some of us did in those years. Made a lot of mistakes, made a lot of blunders, but eventually now you find the road in your 30s to say, oh, so this is where I belong, and then you start now chasing after that road. So those that are still in the process of discovering themselves, keep on searching. One day you're going to find.
Now, Doc, you and I have a long discussion. I have a lot of questions for you, but I can't ask them because of time. And so what I'll quickly do is this. Let me ask this question first of all. There are a lot of teachers out there. And teaching hasn't been regarded as one of those.
It's because of us teachers.
What has made you an exceptional teacher?
I am an exceptional teacher because I think exceptionally.
I like that.
Because I don't believe in you know, the average, status quo.
The norm.
I have even told the teachers at Great North Road Academy to say, let's move out of this teacher, you know, notion. You know, notion where everyone will look at you as a teacher. You know, come to Great North Road Academy. Even the way teachers dress, we have become the first school even to bring banking whatever standards in terms of the way teachers look, the way teachers dress. Because I've told everyone to say you can't be educating these bankers, these what, and yet they dress more than you. Can we change the narrative? So I think it's just the mindset of you know, us teachers that have made the profession itself to be like that. It's a well-respected profession. You know, you can't you know, teach people, direct people, and then you have never been there. And I have refused in my entire life to say if I have to be a teacher, what teacher means, it simply means you are a guide. You are a guide. So if you're a guide, it simply means you can never be to a place, you can never take people to a place you have never been to. So meaning be there, then guide the people. And that's what I've always wanted in life.
He's an exemplary teacher. This man is an exemplary teacher. Now, how does your vision look like? And how do you define yourself? Because we see a teacher in you, we see an entrepreneur in you, we see Great North Academy, we see Tolumba Lodges, we see Tolumba Resort. Who are you?
Yeah, that's a very tricky question.
Yeah.
That's a very tricky question. Even Jesus asked his disciples to say,
Yeah.
whom do you think I am? And
Yeah.
all this. Anyway, it depends on how, but I'll define myself.
Yeah.
But I know people may know me from a different angle. Other people normally say, no, I'm a dreamer, I'm a great dreamer, I'm a hard worker, I'm a what? But from my point of view, I'm a very focused person. I'm a very focused person. You never see me or hear me changing courses to say today I am thinking this way, the other day I'm thinking about this business. When I mean to do something, I keep on hammering until it is done. That's one area of strength that I have.
Great.
And I'm one person who doesn't easily give up.
Give up, yeah.
I don't easily give up. When I mean to do something, it must be done. I must find a way. Those two things, I love those two elements, but also, of course, from the faith point of view.
Yeah.
I think because of what I've been through, it has taught me to entirely depend upon God. I have studied the scriptures. I have studied the scriptures and I've read the scriptures. I've seen where people miss it. To say truly, most people, are in the state where they are because of lack of what? Because of lack of knowledge. They perish. Yeah. So the moment you search the scriptures, I'm one person who I love reading. I'm a great reader.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, quickly, what are some of the key success points that you would outline for you to be great in business?
Yeah, for you to be great in business, for me, the greatest of all these is self-discovery. Self-discovery that I'm talking about is, or maybe I can say self-discovery is the foundation of success in anything that you'd want to do. Most people are intelligent, IQ-wise, but emotionally dull. And you know that emotional intelligence is the one that is responsible for our success.
Yeah.
You can have your degrees, your distinctions this side, but if emotionally you are dull, that doesn't balance the equation. And when you talk about, being emotionally intelligent, it's first of all, discovery, where you discover, yourself. And the self-discovery begins when you start questioning why you are not like another person. And when it comes to business is when you start questioning why you are not in the business like the other person and how can you do business like the other person. So simply means, if I was to advise somebody to say the first step is find out from the people that have been there. If you want to go to Miami, ask the people that are in Miami, those that have been there, so that they show you how they got there. That's the first step. But many people don't question themselves that way because everyone thinks they are a star. Everyone thinks they are big, they are fine. I have seen people even here, sorry to mention this, from the time this thing was established, people just walk to me and they'll just ask to say, who did this whatever touching? Can I have the number? Who did this? I want to come up with a similar thing. Hey, find out how I manage. Otherwise you will collapse. You die. You die is not a very simple thing. You understand? Find out to say, sir, I want to come up with, something like this.
How do I go about it?
How do I do it?
How did you do it?
You're great. That's what I've done. I have done that in my life, and I like learning from a lot of people. I have asked people before to say, I want to be like you in these areas. If it means paying, I'm going to pay. How can I be like you? And I've paid people just to get this knowledge. And that's one element that most people do not have. So that's the starting point. If you want to get into business, number one, that's the greatest element. Ask.
Great.
And that can only happen if you discover your weaknesses and your strength, and then you begin from there. You will find the road.
Awesome. Now, like I said, you are a well of wisdom, knowledge and information, right? We can spend 2 hours here just you offloading stuff. We need a conference. We need a workshop. One-day workshop with a dog. But I want to ask you real-life questions that I ask all my guests, and I'll need quick real-life answers. What did you say is your leadership style like?
My leadership style is that of servant leader.
Okay.
Yeah, servant leader. I think many a times people have come to our organization. Sometimes they can't know who Doc is.
Who's the boss? Yeah.
Even here, when I've been working,
Yeah.
immediately I'm done with this interview, I must go in a work suit.
Yeah.
Because I must work with everybody. I must just eat just like any other person.
Great.
I'm one person who doesn't like even being served like a boss, a king.
Yeah.
When it's lunchtime,
Yeah.
because we have our kitchens, I must go and queue just like any other person.
Wow. Wow.
And I do so. So I don't like being treated as what. That's why if you come to my offices, you never find a secretary to say who is serving me. If I need something, I must rise up, I must stand. And it's part of exercising after all.
Wow.
So you never, of course, have a peer who handles my appointments, but I don't have a personal secretary to handle my what I'm able to handle, that I'm able to run here and there and so on.
What are your core values in life?
Godliness is the first. Yeah, godliness is the first, because I believe what I have today, everything is because of
the Almighty God.
Almighty God. And even people that have asked me to say, do you own Twalumba and all this? I don't own. I'm just but a minority shareholder, but as somebody, a major shareholder here who is in control of everything. And I listen, I hear from him. And that's why I normally say I'm just but a custodian.
What are your driving forces in life?
Driving forces, there's so many. Driving forces, one of them I can say part of my strength is my wife, my partner, my wife.
Yeah.
She's been a very strong force in my life. And I think this is something which is unique to most Zambians, and most business people. In most businesses, you find that if a couple is in a business, there'll be fights, there'll be squabbles and so on. But we've had a peace for whatever.
I was shocked when I arrived.
Yeah.
And I found your wife as the receptionist.
Yeah.
I didn't know, right? I was like,
no.
Madam, how are you? I was even,
You
and then you told me this is my wife. I was like, and if I misbehaved, imagine if I misbehaved there.
You can't know. She's not that a public figure. She likes working in the background. She's been a source of my strength. Honestly speaking, I can tell you to say all this you are seeing wouldn't have been there without her.
Awesome.
She's been a strong pillar.
Great.
Me, I'm just a strong thinker, a great thinker, but she's a great mobilizer.
Awesome.
Don't just look at me and make a lot of noise. Look at this grass. She's the one who could go in the bush to go and collect.
Wow.
I don't know where some of these stones were coming from. She could go with a truck in the bush to go and collect.
Wow.
The sand, everything. She's a great mobilizer. That's why anybody who say, no, Doc, I'd rather you also put her in the picture. She's been a force.
Awesome.
So she's the one that is the engine behind what I'm doing. So otherwise, I wouldn't have been the person, wouldn't have achieved what we have achieved today without her.
What would you say has been your biggest failure in life, and how did you learn from it?
That one I have to search. Yeah, that one I have to search. But mistakes, I've made various mistakes, several mistakes. I've made several mistakes, a lot of mistakes. And also I have made business blunders. I've done businesses which I go into them. Like one time we wanted to establish a university, and then we discover this is wrong. It was not in our line of whatever, and then you make a U-turn after having made, huge investments. You invest millions, and then you don't, and then we made a U-turn. So I have had such in the business, but all in all is I've never given up. And I've come to learn to say all that is part of, discovery, self-discovery, and also growing up as an individual. Yeah, because in business there are no losses. You may lose monetary-wise, but experience-wise, you may have
lessons that you get.
Lessons that you get from there. Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest accomplishment in your life so far?
The biggest accomplishment so far, I think, it's to establish an empire, which has now become a national brand. It's a national brand because now it's a reference point. Yeah, I've been looking forward to that because Zambians, especially us motivation speakers, we are bombarded most of the times to say you are just motivating people.
You've got nothing to show.
But you have got nothing to show. Yeah. But at least now, if I'm able to stand on any platform, I can tell people on how to build a business from nothing to something. Like what people normally say, from a feather even to something like this. So I can tell people because I have done so from nothing, no capital, but you build a business. So even when I'm telling somebody, I know what I'm talking about. So for me, the greatest achievement is what has been done today, so that, you know, through me, there are so many people that will be inspired. Because I don't just like it to say I should remain alone on top. And that's why I am upbeat, I'm eager now to make sure that in this coming year, I invest much of the resources now into building other youths, so that they can be to where I am. So in this coming year, our companies, they'll just be budget specifically just for entrepreneurship, just to help many entrepreneurs out there. But of course, after mentorship and where I'll be able to monitor, because I feel I'm there, but how can I bring other people to where I am? So I feel good when I'm seeing other people succeeding. So in this coming year, now that I've done this, because people have been asking me to say what is next, I've told them, say I'm slowing down with what we've done. I know there are a few pieces that we are yet to put in place here. We are yet to build a hotel, which will be done by mid next year. We are yet to build conference centers, which will be done. Then when we are done, I told them, say no, let me not have so much appetite of moving, going up and so on. Let me carry along other people, so that even as I'm going higher, there are other people. After all, they say you are only deemed successful if there are so many people, depending on how many people you'd have also done what, raised.
What's the most important thing you've learned in life so far?
Life is a journey, and success is a process. Yeah, that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, to say life is a journey, which people talk about the journey, but many people should also understand to say making it in life is a process. And the process is longer than the part of making it. To say once you abide by the process, which takes many years, making it is automated. And that, you know, as you are in the process, every level of, you know, growth as a person attracts a certain amount of success. So like you graduate, depending on how much you grow. And that's what many people normally don't like, because, you know, the process is quite uncomfortable sometimes. Because there's times, you know, when you face setbacks and you even start thinking, say, should I give up or what, and so on. But once you reach a level of, you know, saying, no, can I just keep on? Amidst the storms, then you are getting there.
Awesome. If you had to meet people, 3 people in your life, dead or alive, have dinner with them, who would they be and why? If you had to meet 3 people in your life, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
Of course, my wife.
Yeah.
She's my pillar. I get inspiration also from her. Strength, of course. For me to wake up and be able to smile today is because somebody told me to go and work. And I have a lot of people, but I don't want to cite everybody. But I have a lot of people, everybody out there. But topping the list is my wife. And my children are also following, because every day, you know, even sometimes when I don't feel good, I don't feel fine, they always say, oh, Daddy, please get well soon. We are there for you.
Some of the people that you look up to, just mention to me maybe 2 or 3 that have been a source of inspiration to you.
Source of inspiration, quite many. Yeah, there are quite many. Though to mention, to say, you know, our current president, I follow him, and I've been following him way back. From the business, you know, point. So I get quite a lot of, you know, inspiration from him. I think locally, and a few others. My brother Chibamba Kanyama is there, so we learn a few things from such people, and many others there.
I know you're a busy man, but what do you do in your free time?
In my free time, do I have free time anyway? This one I can tell you, to say a real and a genuine business person would tell you, say we never free, we never have free time. We never have free time, because I don't know, maybe because of me, maybe it's a problem that I have. Because my brain is ever running. My brain is ever running, so sometimes you want to apply some breaks to say, can you sleep, can you rest, and then you find that it's generating something. Maybe it's on auto wake, something and so on. So it's ever working, so Really having some free time, but I just create. What I do, I just plan for my day.
Do you sleep 8 hours in a day?
No.
How many hours do you sleep?
8 hours. No, I sleep for about 5 hours. No, 8 hours is too much. It's too much. Then when am I going to wake?
I wanted to hear that from you.
No, 5 hours, and if I was to go further, maybe 6 hours.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. What's your favorite meal?
Shima with the mbombo and offals also. I love offals.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
But I'm so much into greens. I'm a green person. So much into vegetables.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, to our viewers, people who aspire to become like you, what are your last words to them?
So people that aspire to be like me, please, I can encourage you to say, don't give up. And also at the same time, do not hear people who normally say you are late in life. In life, you are never late for success. Nobody's late for success, because that's the panic button that is in many people. Many people think they are late because maybe you're in your 40s and you think you will never make it. I normally give this story to say, my wife and I got our first asset when I was 38. And now I'm 45, 7 years down the line. Look at all this wealth that we have generated. So nobody is late for success. If I ask you to say you're late against who? Against what? To where? And so on. So every person has got their own script. God has scripted your life in a certain way. Some of the people, probably it will take your life from the time you are poor up to the time you are rich within 20 minutes or 30 minutes. God is able to do so. If you can't believe me, read the story of Joseph. How long did it take for him from being a prisoner to being a prime minister? Probably a spurt of 20 minutes or 30 minutes. From interpreting a dream, and then from nowhere, from within a few minutes, somebody is a king. So it can happen to you. Do not be discouraged. You are on the right course. For me, I normally keep on emphasizing on this point to say, take your time to work on you. You are the reason you are where you are. You are the reason you have what you have today. What you have today has got nothing to do with the circumstances, has got nothing to do with COVID or anything. You are the reason. So if you can work on you, understand yourself, then everything is better. Otherwise, everyone is on the right track. It's just a matter of time. Do not be in a panic. Yeah.
Doc, you're a busy man.
Thank you.
But you made time to just show up on this interview and give us all these nuggets, and these people pay to get this information that you have released right now. And I just want to say thank you. You are a great inspiration personally to me and to the many Zambians out there. You are one of the icons that we look up to. Look at this. How much did you invest in this? How much have you spent on this, Doc?
No, I don't want to mention, but it's in millions. I don't want to mention, because Zambians are allergic to, if you tell them 5, 10 million, everyone will say, boom.
Yeah.
So I don't like it. But
it's billions.
We had to use, with this one, we had to use simple material. I like being creative.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, if I was to tell you how much we invested in here, I would be shocked. What we had to do was just to gather materials. Check, we have grass which is coming from Chibombo. We had to go in the rural areas. We have trucks.
Yeah.
Go and get grass from there. We have poles that we had to get from somewhere. So we have stones. Some of them we got them from Rufunsa. We got them. So what we had to do was just to collect materials from around the country using our trucks, and we established something. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Doc. I'm so honored and privileged, and I believe that people have been inspired. And that's what we do on the Real Life Show, ladies and gentlemen. We bring you the best that you need and the best that you deserve. This has been Jonathan, teaming up with the Doc himself, the legendary Dr. Rozious, Siatwambo. Continue watching, stay safe, and God bless you. Peace.
Hi, I am Dr. Rozious Siatwambo, the CEO of the Great North Road Academy group of companies which comprise of Twalumba, Great North Road Academy schools and the Rehab Center. Continue watching the Real Life Show with Jonathan.
Thank you.